All right, here we go.
All
Let's
right.
get started. Let's first define what CodeNEXT is. 9 out of 10 people out there have no clue what it is. It's a rewrite of our land use codes, where you can build, how you can build, how much you can build. It's basically helping steer the growth of the city for years to come. Probably a good idea to reevaluate and look at those codes every once in a while, but Carmen, I think you would agree the codes change all the time.
Yes.
Based on needs and things like that.
And this is how much paper? How thick of a book are we talking about here?
We are at 1,700 plus pages and counting
Yeah.
in the current version of CodeNEXT.
On the third draft.
You're a developer, a home builder.
Yes.
You're a community activist leader here in town, and somewhat different opinions about CodeNEXT. Correct?
It sounds like we agree on a lot of things, actually, but we probably have some differing opinions just based on the groups that we're working with.
The devil is in the details.
That's right.
Of CodeNEXT. Overall, probably a good idea to re-examine, but some of the specific details is what people are having a hard time with. Let's begin with, Carmen, with you. You guys have, your organization helped put together a petition, correct?
That's correct.
And could be on the ballot for voters to consider. Why? Why did you do this?
We did it in a large, broad-based effort to ensure that voters in Austin would have a voice on this thing if it was going in a direction that looked like it wasn't going to serve the people of Austin and may actually serve some very narrow special interests. So I think a lot of us, regardless of how we feel about development in Austin, can agree that what was supposed to happen with CodeNEXT, which is a simpler rewrite that would facilitate more simple development, that effort has failed so far. We have a document that grew from 1,100 pages in the first draft to, as Scott mentioned, over 1,700 in the third. It's incredibly complex. It's cost us $8.5 million. It was supposed to cost us $1 million. So there are some serious issues, and I think the impetus behind the petition was that we don't trust the final product yet, and we want to have the option to say yes or no as the people of Austin.
What specific? So as you talked about special interests could be benefiting. What do you mean? Get to the detail. Let's get to the devil of the detail that you're concerned about.
Well, the details are so many. I mean, our land development code at this point already has a level of complexity, but now we're talking about a hybrid and all of these different designations. The text is incredibly long, and so it's very difficult for your average person to actually get involved and understand how this affects development in their neighborhood, in their life. Even for a developer, generally people are going to have to hire people to decipher this thing.
Takes a lawyer to read it.
Absolutely, and it actually creates an entire profession of people whose job it is to decipher it, potentially in a favorable way to the developer, because even our city council members are incredibly confused by this thing.
It's safe to say that this is going to cost people money just to understand it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a possibility it can drive up the cost of development if
Right.
it draws things out or if you have to hire more people. So that's one of the first concerns.
It's pretty interesting. You talk about it as a way that it could be translated or read in a different way.
Absolutely.
By a different lawyer, a different person. That's not good. I mean, these should be very clear-cut and dry.
Well, and right now it's not clear cut and dry, and I don't know that CodeNEXT in its current form will really change that. I mean, there's a lot of folks that feel like there's some good tools and mechanisms we have in our land development code, and the problem is the way that staff interprets it, the way that city council chooses to waive certain requirements here and there. And so I think until we have a real secure view of how those mechanisms are going to work, we shouldn't be necessarily giving more by right entitlements.